What's happening, YouTube? You're listening to Immortal Coil. Your oracle of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name. And today, we're talking Batman. As you can tell, my voice is jacked. I am getting over a sinus infection. So I'll thank you for that bit of patience. And before we discuss,
Death by the pale moonlight.
I'd like to ask you to like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know what you want to see covered on future editions of Savage Spirituality. Matt Reeves had a lofty idea, constructing a feature Batman film around the Long Halloween story. Being the son of Christopher Reeve, he certainly has the pedigree to dip his toe into a DC canon. But was this movie actually good? I don't think so. Now listen, I'm just a crystal skull on YouTube. You go out and you make up your own opinion, but this one is mine. Much has been made about the length of the Batman movie. I actually fell asleep.
You fell asleep?
I fell asleep.
I fell asleep. When it comes down to it, it's just too fucking long. The Batman needs to be two different movies. You could have had The Batman Part 1, The Batman Part 2. The idea of this story was intriguing. Let's take Batman, whose heretofore screen appearances has mostly been about beating the crap out of the bad guy, and let's give him an intellectual puzzle to solve. Go out and find that weepy vampire boy, and let's put him in this movie. Give him a chance to shine. Give him a chance to show that he's something beyond a panty dampener. And let's tell a story from Batman's less developed youth. Robert Pattinson was not a good choice for the Batman. He shirked his responsibilities for the role in the pre-production phase. Pattinson had a poor diet and a poor workout ethic. Now, we don't expect a kid like Robert Pattinson to put on a man-sized beefcake physique such as we saw in Frank Miller's artwork in The Dark Knight Returns. But I do think that Pattinson would be capable of producing a physique similar to Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Also during pre-production, and I think that this factors into the overall film length, Zack Snyder's Justice League Director's Cut came out. So while the state of the world necessitated several production delays, the audiences were able to go back to something that they thought had performed poorly and saw it executed properly, at least according to the director's vision. Now, Zack Snyder was coached to spin his interview with the Fandom Menace as sitting in a den of vipers. If you nervously go,
yeah, I'm sitting with you guys, but I'm not one of you guys,
then I'm wondering, who were you really pointing the fuck you at? However, waves the director's cut it did make, and suddenly people were talking about who's the better Batman, Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson. And it may yet come to pass that he and Affleck have to share a screen in this Flash movie that is supposed to happen at some point. Now, Reeves did all he could to keep us enticed during this period. He released a really interesting ninjutsu trailer.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Where we see Batman beating the crap out of bad guys. But it was intriguing enough to hold interest. And then we wait. March 4th, 2022, and the Batman drops. And everybody was all ooh and ah. But all the guys that I cared about and listened to said the same tropes were rearing their heads. I was joking with Tom, Midnight's Edge, about this. You cannot use Nirvana this way. Putting that song into this film will not elevate it. So, go help out Midnight's Edge. They're a tiny channel. They need the help. So what did I think? The Batman actually was a pretty decent movie, but it was way too long. This story could have been told concisely in under 2 hours. But since this is DC-verse post-Snyder cut, I think the studios were scared to reduce the overall runtime. Wasn't an alright movie? Yeah, it was alright. Maybe 7 out of 10. Not the best Batman movie I've ever seen, but far from the worst. Bottom line, if this thing came out in the late 80s or early 90s, I'd say wait for it to come out on video. Watch it at a buddy's house if he has cable. These days, I'd say grab your buddy's password.
But you don't have to take my word for it.